The AGN would like to thank our sponsor, Wirecast. Wirecast software lets you produce professional-looking live events with just a camera, an internet connection, and a computer. Stream or record live internet shows, broadcast breaking news or sporting events, stream live concerts, transmit church services, corporate meetings, lectures, and much more. Wirecast, your webcasting presentation solution.
Welcome to Araxis Global Network, the premier voice of objective reporting, covering the events that affect your world, your life, and your PlanetSide 2 news and information. We cover what it means to be a PlanetSide 2 fan. You love the game, you will love the AGN. We are your #1 source of all things PlanetSide 2, featuring spot-on and up-to-date updates. Yes, we said up-to-date updates that will promise to whet your appetite for PlanetSide 2 news. Will you find cutting-edge information as well as breaking news screenshots on AGN? Does a pole dancer have thighs that can crush your head? Yes! And now, introducing your distinguished hosts, your friends and fellow PlanetSide 2 groupies, Hamma and Marsman.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Araxis Global Network here for January. We're going to do another community night here tonight, and we actually have a special guest with us, but I'm going to go ahead around here. We'll get things started and just go ahead and introduce everybody, and then we'll move on to a couple topics, and then we'll bring Higby here live on the air. So,
yes.
Here once again, we've got Marsman over here, now on the correct side of me, so you can actually, we're not awkwardly pointing at each other in the opposite direction anymore.
Good evening, everybody. Hope everybody had a good holiday season, and we are thrilled to be back here in January of 2012, the year we get PlanetSide 2. So we are excited.
Indeed, indeed. And we also have, as usual, Jenny Boo here on the air with us as well. Oh, and she's way down in the bottom left corner of her screen. It would have helped if we had adjusted the shot before we got started.
Hi, everybody. CDL Jenny Boo in IRC channel, Jenny Boo on the forums. I want to do a shout out to one of my favorite community managers, Virago. He's actually in the AGN channel as we speak.
Indeed. Shout out to Virago as well. And thank you for coming on IRC and taking part in the show with us. We're going to talk about a couple things here. We have just wanted to put a quick reminder out there about our Twitter contest. When we hit 1,000 followers on the PSU account, we are going to give away 2 PlanetSide 2 t-shirts.
Yes.
Indeed. So be sure to get out there and follow us if you're not already, because you have a chance to win. And another thing I want to talk about is a new feature we're going to have coming up here really soon on PSU called Outfit Spotlight. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take applicants for outfits. And we're going to do exactly what it says. We're going to spotlight you on the front page of PSU, and folks will be able to read about your outfit and kind of get an idea of what you're about. There are no specific requirements for it. You don't have to have played PlanetSide in the past. You just have to plan on playing PlanetSide 2 in the future with your outfit. That's really the only requirement. But that's something we're going to have coming up here really soon. Look out for a news post on that coming up in the next few days, and we'll be getting started with that. So get your best selling points available, I guess is the best term I want to use to apply. And
Great way to promote your outfit.
For sure. It'll be an awesome way to promote your outfit and, help to get new members. All right. So I'm going to go ahead, and without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and introduce. We have Matt Higby here live with us today on the air. And, and Matt.
Is my sound on? Am I unmuted?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. How are you? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on another AGN. We're happy to have you here.
I'm stoked to be here.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to ask some questions. We've got a little Q&A here prepared, and I'll go ahead and get started on it. Could you tell us if you plan on incorporating some type of urban combat, and if so, what will it look like? Will it look like broken down cities or anything like that?
Urban combat. Well, we have a couple different plans for urban style combat for sure. One of the keystones of our facility design is actually building them out so they're a lot larger in terms of overall footprint. So there's sort of like an urban war zone that surrounds the actual facility fight itself. That's one way that we're integrating urban combat. Another way that we're doing it, which is going to be way further down the road, is actually having continents that are have a lot of urban gameplay. So rather than running around the forest, you might be running around in, like you said, a ruined city. Those aren't things that we're working on right now for launch, but they're things that we have plans to do as soon as we possibly can, because we think that having a big ruined city that you can run around and fight in seems pretty cool.
Yes, it does definitely seem pretty cool.
Great.
But I mean, at launch, we'll definitely have the concept of that, in-your-face urban combat style gameplay, just in our facility fights, because of the way that they're surrounded by buildings, and even within the courtyards, they're filled with different smaller buildings that you can go building to building from and have those little, alleyway fights and such.
Excellent.
So there.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Next question. Has the feedback on iron sights from Twitter changed or influenced how you plan on implementing them?
Well, we're still definitely going to have iron sights. We haven't, a lot of the feedback was, we don't want iron sights. That's not our game. It's still something that we're definitely planning on doing. So we haven't backed away from that idea at all. But a lot of the feedback we've gotten from Twitter has been ways to do it in ways that won't take away from the PlanetSide gaming experience, and that kind of stuff has been super valuable. I would say that the feedback that we've gotten in general from PlanetSide Universe and from Twitter has been really enlightening on a lot of subjects. People sometimes have issues with something that we would have no idea that people would be upset about. For me, it's actually really interesting that so many people are very upset about the idea that we don't have vehicle animations or vehicle entering animations in the game anymore. So it's interesting getting that kind of feedback from folks, and we try to implement that feedback as much as we can. But sometimes we're limited by the constraints of what we're able to do with our development schedule and such. So,
Right.
Yeah.
But specifically for iron sights, I think that a lot of it has been just figuring out what iron sights mean for our game, what sort of advantage using iron sights get you. But we're still planning on going ahead with having iron sights. And I think actually it was pretty split in terms of people's opinion on it. There were a few people who didn't like it, a few people who were like, yeah, you really need to have iron sights, and then a bunch of people who were like, iron sights, you can have them or not, it doesn't bother me too much. So.
Right, yeah, I mean, I've seen very similar things. It seems that when people are against it, they seem to be very strongly against it.
Right.
And not just, to me, I think it's pretty cool. I'm happy to see that they're going to be in there. I think it adds a new element to the game. So.
Well, that's one of the things that's nice about having such a passionate group of people to use as a soundboard almost for development ideas, is people have really strong opinions about stuff. And a lot of times their strong opinions are backed up by really, really strong evidence one way or the other. And that's really great to have. I've never worked on a game before we're able to soundboard things in the same way that we can on PlanetSide too. So it's great.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a great community. It's a great community to be a part of, and it's been active all these years. And PlanetSide 1, it was similar, although we had absolutely no idea what we were going to see in PlanetSide 1, so it was a little harder to give feedback, but now things are a little bit different. So.
Yeah.
But,
Hamma's baby.
yes. All right. So do you have any new information on the various Max special abilities, specifically the Vanu Max?
So we do have most of our special abilities pretty well locked down. The one that we don't have locked down yet is the Vanu one. We're still figuring out exactly what kind of ability we want to give them that kind of, whenever we're coming up with something that's going to be an Empire-specific ability, it's always like the balancing act of what holes does the Empire have currently, and sort of what's the overall style that we want the Empire to have. So the max ability for Vanu right now is something that we're playing around with a lot of different options. So I don't have a specific on that. But in terms of overall max abilities, we will have lockdown for TR. We will have a shield for NC, and then we're going to have a generic ability that all of them will be able to use, which is a charge, which should be pretty fun.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay, I guess we'll go on to the next question. Is Can you go into any additional detail on the territory system? I don't know if you've seen Mir's video, but is he close to what it might be like?
The train is coming by again. The friggin' train.
Yeah, of course.
Having a Q&A interrupted by a train. That's actually kind of cool.
Yes, indeed.
It's better than
right?
It's better than a technical problem.
I was trying to lounge on the patio. Hold on one second. Sorry.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Yeah, that's definitely that's a unique thing to have an interview disrupted by.
Right.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a train involved.
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I heard 50% of the question.
Okay, basically, the question is can you go into any additional detail on the territory system? Mir had kind of put together a little video that he'd thrown out on YouTube that a lot of people have seen. I guess you probably have seen it as well. Is he close to how that's going to work? Can you comment on that?
Very close. Very close. I actually was really impressed by that because I even showed some of our UI artists. I was like, it should look like this.
Well, that'll make Mir happy. Yeah.
But no, it was very close. So the territory control system, similarly to the way the video described, when you capture a piece of territory, you're going to gain bonuses towards capturing adjacent territory from that. There's other bonuses that'll help compound that, and there's things like multiple people being able to hack objectives at the same time that'll let you, increase the rate at which things get hacked or at which you can capture the base. So there's lots of things that feed into it, but the overall idea of it is that you have a front line of battle that's constantly evolving and changing based on the territory that's held by each one of the empires, which is pretty neat. In practice, it ends up making it so that you're fighting in different areas almost all the time, which is great.
Yeah, that's one of the more exciting things I thought was going to be, we're all looking forward to for PlanetSide 2 is to be able to spread that fight out instead of being bottlenecked in the areas that we have been in
one
PS1.
Base and two guys.
One base,
two
one bridge.
factions
Yeah.
going at one base.
Yeah, they always seem to occur in the same place, and this is going to definitely spread the fight out, which is definitely cool.
Oh, bridge battles.
Yeah, that was one of the things that, PlanetSide had these just ginormous maps, really huge maps, but in practice you only ended up seeing really small percentages of those maps because, there's the bridge that you're fighting on, there's the facilities that you're fighting in. When you're fighting in a facility, you're underground the whole time, so it doesn't really matter what map you're on. We wanted to make sure that we were taking advantage of all the terrain that we were creating, since we're putting such a great deal of effort into crafting all those areas to feel like they're fun for different types of gameplay. We wanted to make sure that we were building a control system that facilitated you running around and fighting in those areas.
Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. Well, I'm sure Amir will be extremely thrilled to find out how close he was to the... I know he's watching right now because he sent us that last-minute new intro that actually we put out at the beginning of the show. That's a new... he sent that to us literally, 15 or 20 minutes before we got started. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
If that guy's not a professional video editor already, he should be a professional video editor.
He's done some great stuff for us, and we really appreciate his efforts.
Yeah, I'm sure you've seen all of his earlier stuff too. I'm guessing in the the original PlanetSide stuff that he did. So some very cool stuff.
He's great.
All right, we'll go ahead and move on to the next question. This has actually come up on the forums quite a bit recently. I don't know why all of a sudden, but it has been. Will there be cooldown timers on vehicles and maxes similar to the way there were in PlanetSide 1?
Yes, for vehicles, there will be.
Mm-hmm.
Maxes will not have cooldown timers the same way.
Okay.
And that's because maxes can spawn as maxes. So you don't have to go to a terminal to create a max. If you want to squad spawn as a max, that's a possibility.
It's going to change the dynamic of the game quite a bit.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely interesting.
Yeah, well.
Oh, hold on. I got to find a tower.
Right. Yeah. Yep. That was always definitely one of the things you had to plan for. So, that's interesting to hear. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of the themes of what we're trying to do with the game in general is reduce downtime, reduce a lot of the maintenance things that you had to do that were kind of inconvenient, not remove logistics, not remove strategy. None of those things we really want to mess with. We want to actually enhance those things, but kind of, making it so that those repetitive maintenance tasks that are sort of just not enjoyable, try to lessen those as much as possible. And one of those is just spawning and then walking 2 feet over to the equipment terminal and then hitting some buttons to get your equipment. We want you to just be able to spawn with your gear.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Right.
All right, and speaking of gear, I guess that leads us into the next question: is what's the coolest thing you can tell us about the engineer class?
Well, the engineer is a exceptional defensive class. That's probably its hallmark, is it's the most defensive class in the game. In terms of being able to place things like the combat deployables that it has, the combat engineering stuff that it has, as well as being able to repair and some of the anti-vehicle stuff that it has access to, it really makes it an extremely strong, extremely powerful defensive class.
All right, cool.
Very cool.
Very cool. Caught me off guard there. I'm like looking at about 1,200 things at once. So, well, actually, that's actually the next question. That's more stuff about the engineer class, because it's actually something we don't know a whole lot about yet. So I want to make sure we got some questions for you on it. Can you give us some additional insight on what engineering deployables we may have in the game?
Well, right now we have turrets. We don't have auto turrets. We have manned turrets. So as an engineer, you can deploy different types of manned turrets, from like an anti-vehicle one to an anti-infantry one. Those are pretty cool. They can also deploy things like shield barriers so that you can create some dynamic cover objects in different areas. Those sort of things are really neat. Plus, they also have, the standard being able to deploy anti-vehicle mines, things like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I really like the shields. The idea of being able to deploy a shield to push cover forward when you're capturing a base from attackers, or when you're attacking or defending, being able to create quickly throw down some cover objects in critical areas makes for really cool gameplay.
Yeah, I would imagine it would, 'cause I'm sure there are certain situations we've all seen in PlanetSide where you're just running across open cover and no cover at all, and being able to do that would be neat. Okay,
Yeah.
Moving on, I guess, here now to some question on resources. Can you tell us what sort of things that resources will be used for?
So, resources, we have two different types of resources. And realistically, the main way that you're going to be using resources is to upgrade weapons, be able to purchase things like side-graded weapons that you unlock permanently. So if I want to get a cycler that fires more bullets per second, but each one of those bullets has less damage, then that would be a side grade that I would be able to purchase using resources that I earned in the game. That's kind of the main way that they're used, is as a currency. The other way that resources are used, besides being able to just unlock items with them, is to buy consumable items. So, for instance, if you want to get a bunch of jammers or just frag grenades, then you're going to use a certain type of resource to purchase those things. When you spawn, you can grab a package of them for resources.
Okay, so if somebody was, going up and buying a cycler, they don't necessarily have to spend resources to get a cycler, but if they want that side grade for, some extra bullets or faster rate of fire, that's where they would spend the resources. So
how it works is you unlock your weapons. So if I already have a cycler, I don't have to pay resources to get my cycler again when I respawn or go to an equipment terminal. But if I want to unlock a side grade of the cycler, then maybe I would spend resources to unlock it, and then it's permanently mine. Anytime I go to the equipment terminal, I can just grab it again. And then there's other things like boomers maybe, or grenades that you would purchase each time you wanted to use them. They would basically be a resource drain.
Okay, so a side grade you get every time? Once you've spent the resources to get a side grade, you respawn with that side grade? Or do you have to respend those resources again if you want that same side grade?
You would be able to respawn with that side grade if you wanted to.
Nice.
Every time without having to spend money on it again.
Nice. So once you buy it, it's yours.
Spend resources on it again.
Yeah.
I want to be really clear, because when we're talking about free-to-play games, if I say spend money on it, people are like, oh crap, I got to spend money. You don't have to spend money on getting guns.
Right.
There's nothing like that.
It's resources. Yeah.
Yeah, resources.
Cool. All right. Can you tell us if the Galaxy will be able to carry a light vehicle in the back, and if it can have passengers in it like it did in PlanetSide 1?
Well, our hope is to have the Galaxy be able to carry a light vehicle. That's sort of the plan, and some of the logistics that we've been working out. We're still trying to work out the exact details of, will it have passengers, which vehicles exactly will be able to be in it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's our plan. is to allow light vehicles, as you said, to be able to ride in the back of the Galaxy. We've had some other kind of, what if once the Galaxy is deployed, there's 2 ATVs that are just there by default that anybody can just jump into and use. You know, we've kind of been messing around with those sort of ideas of, should it work this way, or should you just be able to load a vehicle into it? Does it require a specific cert to be able to load a vehicle into it? Are you giving up something by putting a vehicle into it? A lot of those details we still are hashing out.
Mm-hmm.
Understandable.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we will actually be able to do that again because, whoops, wrong screen. See what happens when you have, we have so many shots these days that I can't even keep track of them anymore.
You guys need to have a producer in the back who's like switching the
I know,
cameras
right?
for you and stuff, like a big league sports broadcast.
That would be
or
pretty
something.
sweet if we had just somebody sitting over in the corner and they were kind of like doing all the shots while we were sitting here talking. That would make things much easier.
I was
now,
going to say,
wouldn't
we
it?
wouldn't know what to do if
Yeah.
we weren't having to sit there and
Yeah.
do buttons and dials.
One thing that I do notice, though, we always used to do just audio casts, and you could get away with like looking around at all sorts of stuff and doing things, but you can't really get away with that in the air. Everybody's like, "What the hell is he looking at?"
Right. Yeah, everybody becomes a lot more critical suddenly
Yeah.
when you're in front of the camera. So
Just gotta make do with
Yeah.
what we got.
Yeah. So,
It's funny for me because like I don't get to see the video. I'm just sitting here talking to my iPad, and as far as I know,
Yeah.
I have no idea what screens are going on when, because I left my computer that had the AGN on back on the top.
Nice.
Hey, I'm in the same boat. Hamma and Marsman can see everything, and I can't. So
yes, that's because somebody forgot to bring his monitor to the cast.
Yeah.
Right? So we won't mention any names, but yeah. As I said, it wouldn't be AGN without a technical problem here
that's
or there.
right. Yeah, if we weren't missing something or something like that, for sure. Actually, I was just going to mention that while we were talking, the official site was updated with the Cycler ARV.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was supposed to mention that. Dang it. Yeah. So that's,
Virago actually sent me a text saying, "Remind Higby."
Yeah, it's the heavy variant of the Cycler. So that's the Cycler variant that heavy assault troops get to use,
Nice.
which is pretty neat.
Yeah.
It's basically like a light machine gun variant on the Cycler.
Mm-hmm.
So
Looks pretty badass.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking. I think
always
that's.
badass.
I do remember. I think I recall that being mentioned at one point or another. But it's cool to finally see it. Oh, we don't have a shot here for the air yet because they just posted it. But
Oh, yeah.
oh well, next time.
Everybody go to Facebook.
Yeah.
Right. After the
and
show.
look.
Yep. All right. Well, cool. So we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next portion of the show, and Matt is actually going to depart. Oh,
He is on IRC. Everybody,
Yes, he
as far
is.
as I know, but I'm not sure if you're in the AGN channel. You might want to join after you leave. But
nice.
Yeah, no, I'm on IRC, and I'll keep chatting with folks while the show's going on. And I'm interested in actually getting to look at you guys. So it'll
Yes.
be
Yeah.
cool to actually
That's
watch
true.
instead of just talk to my iPad.
Yep. You'll be able to actually see us. All right. Awesome. Well, thank you for coming on
yes.
again.
Thanks so much.
it's always nice
Thanks for having
when you take time for the community. We appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, and Jen, you forgot to ask him about the. You were going to ask him something. Remember?
I was gonna ask him. I was gonna ask you. Can you make a commitment to the community to not cut your hair until beta?
Oh man.
Not. I mean, it can either be the beard or the hair. We're fine with either or.
No pressure.
One or the other.
Or if you're
One or the
really
other,
if
just
you're
to
really
remain
hard,
unshorn until beta.
yeah, and if you're really hardcore, you'll do both.
Oh,
You don't have to give us
That's
an
a-
answer now.
that's a tough order.
Think about it.
I can make a commitment to the community to not cut my hair until beta. I think I
Awesome.
can get away with that.
All right.
How about that?
Awesome.
He's
But
gonna
the
look
beard,
like.
I probably is going to leave in about 8 days when my wife
I was
gets
going to say,
Yeah.
by the time the wife comes back, I would imagine the beer was going to go.
Yeah, we were thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Higby's gonna look like Jesus by the time it comes out.
Yeah.
So,
I use FaceTime to talk to my wife while my wife is in Malaysia right now. For the 99% of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, she's visiting her family for Chinese New Year, and I use FaceTime to talk to her every once in a while, and she calls it beard time now. She's like,
no.
"Oh, is it beard time again?"
Nice.
She's like, "I don't get to see your face; I just get to see that beard."
Nice.
Hezzy said, "Higby, if you keep your beard, I'll donate towards SOE staff night out."
That's funny.
That's tempting. I don't know.
Yeah, but he might get wife aggro, guys.
yeah, no,
don't
we
need
don't have
that.
that.
We don't want him on the bad side with his
Yeah,
wife.
that would be bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
That could interfere with production in beta. So
Yeah,
we
don't
want to do that.
poke Mama Bear.
Yes.
Happy life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy.
Nope.
That's right.
Well, maybe I won't cut
Yeah,
my hair
it
either
actually
until
looks
Beta
like
comes
got
out.
hit by an orbital strike because she's been gone for 2 weeks.
Nice.
Pretty bad.
All right.
right.
Awesome. So, actually, we're going to wish you good luck at GDC. We know you're going to be there. Our next show is going to be that week because I'm hoping for some juicy details that we'll be able to talk about. So, we're actually going to do our show the weekend after GDC. We've already got it lined up.
You guys should do it live from GDC.
Oh, I wish.
Oh, would love.
I'm
I'm
to Winnebago, and
we were just talking about that for the show. It's like, geez, it'd be nice to
Yeah.
be there, but
Yeah, it would
Ham
be
and I are
awesome.
saving for a house this year, so extra expenses traveling is not in the cards.
Yeah, unfortunately. It would be
you hear
awesome,
that
but
community? You hear that PlanetSide community? Put up a PayPal link.
No, we're not gonna let if they do send money, it's for PlanetSide, not for the house. So
Ham is house
Oh,
fun.
that's what I mean. I mean to get the Winnebago.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
The
maybe
PSU.
someone will just donate one.
Yeah, right. The PSU Winnebago. We could get a big wrap for it and wrap it in the PSU logo.
Sure.
That'd be badass.
Have the big
It's like a
satellite dish on the
mystery bus or
top, you know, with the uplink.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it would be awesome to be there, but instead we'll have to settle for a show just after, which
Right.
hopefully we'll still have cool stuff to talk about. So, but
Well, I hope that we reveal some stuff that that gives you guys some juicy details to chat about.
Excellent.
that
We
would
look
be
forward
awesome.
to it.
For sure. All right, awesome.
All right, cool.
Well, thanks.
Well, thanks for having me. Have
Yeah.
a great rest of the show.
Yeah. Thank you.
Tell Basti I said.
All right. Matt Higby, everybody, Creative Director of PlanetSide. Thank you for being on.
Yes.
Bye,
Thank
guys.
you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right, awesome, everybody. Thanks for definitely special thanks to Matt for joining in again. It's awesome to have him come take part in the community, and
Absolutely.
as he said, he will be on IRC, so I'm sure he'll be commenting and contributing to the rest of the show where we sit down and talk to the community. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started on that and introduce some folks from the community. I will ask Marsman to go ahead and start introducing folks, starting with the usual suspects, while I go ahead and start moving people in the channel so that they can actually talk to us.
And giving them voice.
All right. Well, I hope my list is right here. Actually, we haven't verified who we
Yeah,
actually have here.
You can do the first few, and then we'll
Okay.
move on from there.
Well, as usual, our number one introduction for tonight, again alphabetically first, the incomparable, the always present Basti.
Wait a sec.
Are you there?
I need to kill. Yeah. I just needed to kill the.
We surprised you.
because they hit me twice.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, Basti, long-time PlanetSide veteran, playing since 2005, playing most of my time with the Vano Corporation, a kick-ass Vano outfit on Burner. Yeah, I had to do that. Also playing with GOTR and AT on Gemini.
All right.
Oh, and also Higby.
Thank you, Basti. Okay, next up we have Captain in San Diego. Go ahead, Captain.
Hello, it's great to be back here, guys. I'm really looking forward to discussing what we've learned tonight and have learned over the last couple of weeks. It's always a freaking pleasure to be here.
And a pleasure to have you, sir. All right, next here we have Grey Wolves.
Hey everyone, it's great to be on here again. It's really cool to have Higby on here and talking. I really enjoyed that. Can't wait to discuss with you guys some more like we always do.
All right, and welcome back again. And next up we have AWP.
Hi, I'm AWP. I play on the Terran Republic. I've been playing since about beta. I've been on and off since then, but was in the outfit The Trimmers, and it's good to be on again.
All right, thank you very much. We're glad to have you back. And last but not least, we have Lunar Child.
Hello there. I am Lunar Child, often at the forums, and long-time Azure Twilight player. I have been Vanu, of course, still having a blast in PlanetSide once in a while.
All right, well, welcome aboard. Thank you for being here. And last, we have one more. We have a new Sith.
Hey guys, well, my name is Nusith, obviously. I'm that rare occasion of English-speaking Russian. I'm from Werner, VS. I played for Dawn of War outfit for quite a while, and after that, well, basically after I quit PlanetSide, I joined Mercenaries, and now I play with them.
Okay, well, that rounds out our TeamSpeak audience that are going to be joining us tonight for our community. And thank you all for being here.
Indeed, everybody. Thanks for taking the time to come on, join us for another community night. That wasn't too bad. That was kind of smooth, actually, considering we didn't have everything prepared as we had hoped. But we're gonna go ahead and get started and talk about the interview we just had with Matt. So, what did you guys think? Any feedback?
There was a really good question that came up in the IRC chat over how the shield walls for the engines are going to work. Whether they're going to be like domes or there's going to be solid walls.
That's a good question.
And maybe he'll answer it in IRC. You never know.
He seems to still wander around his house.
Yeah, he had mentioned something about going to the pet store, so he might be AFK for
I think he may have went AFK for a couple, but he'll be back. If you do see him talking, you can bring it up in the.
Yeah, that's certainly a good
Quite
question.
sure we can expect something like Battlefield 2142 shield, just a little thing where you can behind which you can prone or something.
Yeah, I was thinking like one of the things that came to mind was the global agenda shield wall, which it would take fire, but you could shoot through it. I'm not sure if that's like the Battlefield 2142 style, but that's what came to mind for me. So.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the thing is, takes too much space. It's not a cover, more like a wall in the middle of nowhere. I don't think it will be a good idea to put something like that in the game.
I'm interested to see how it gets in there and how it works. If it'll be like a big cover or small cover, or how much damage it can take before being destroyed. Because
I
depending
imagine
on
all
the
those are
battle it's
upgradable.
going on, it could last very long, or it could just go away and get destroyed immediately.
I imagine through the engineer search you'll be able to upgrade all those.
Yeah, maybe through skill points, like it could take like certain amount of damage better, like AV or explosives or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, certainly the search tree could be wide open for that. I mean, the size of the shield, the amount of damage, that's certainly all things that probably could be worked into the search tree.
Also a good thing to ask if it's going to be, well, what should I call it, collidable. It's the fact if people can pass through the wall or they cannot.
That's a good question. How it interacts with the vehicles. Because just think right now, I can think if it clings to the ground and just makes a straight wall, I imagine you could actually make jump ramps off of hills with that.
Yeah.
And now you got me thinking.
That would be awesome, though.
Yeah, you can make a ladder to the sky. Eh?
Yeah, make a ladder to the sky, get with your ATV, or with a quad, it's called now. All the way up and jump to God.
One thing that I've had on my mind a lot recently since the last webcast I did was how the new galaxy is basically going to work as a fortress, and hearing about how the engineers going to be able to make all these defensive things around it. I'm just picturing all these like epic battles and like between facilities, between towers out in the middle of nowhere, just fighting over trying to destroy a galaxy that has turrets around it and walls all around it. A few Sunderers keeping it alive.
It's definitely going to be an interesting dynamic. I mean, AMSs in the last game, it was like, how long did they last?
One of the things
they
that
don't get discovered.
Yeah. One of the things that bothered me is I hope a galaxy doesn't become a snipe fest because you couldn't see an AMS at a distance or if somebody was inside the cloak bubble, but because when you see a galaxy packed on the ground, you're going to have snipers ring that thing and wait for people to spawn out of it. So
maybe they'll have like situational on one side where you're only spawning on the one side that's not facing the base, so you're using the galaxy as cover.
Right, but I mean, how are you going to keep the snipers from, just sitting down and, finding a piece of cover and just, knowing that that's there? They may have to put up some sort of a shield or a wall so that, you can have at least half a chance of being able to
Something that
respond.
comes down that covers a wide area of it.
Right.
Mhm.
Because I see it being a
An
snipe
AoE
fest.
shield might actually function in that regard, because I've been thinking about it's good. They're replacing the cloak bubble with with turrets, and in my mind that doesn't really work out because in PlanetSide you had the wall turrets on a base, and before the upgradables, like even a normal wall turret now you don't really use. So you're thinking about having 4 people constantly stuck inside of a gal. That's 4 people that aren't helping you out on the field, and that's playing with my mind. I'm like, I'd rather be out in the field rather than stuck in the terrain, making sure the gal stays alive.
I think the idea is instead of just having the stream of people constantly going to the base, you have now actually a fight for the position of the galaxy. So the defender tries to push you again back to your galaxy. It's the point where they can take out the galaxy.
Or, make the galaxy move.
Yeah.
Totally get
Or
up
make the
and
galaxy
be
move.
non-functional.
Right. You might actually spawn inside the galaxy. We don't know.
Right.
We're thinking
Talking about
we're thinking about AMS where you spawn outside. You might actually spawn inside. So.
talking about galaxy defense, we still don't know if you can switch seats from inside the vehicle. In that case, you just need one guy constantly swapping weapons on the galaxy to protect it. You don't need 4 people sitting inside.
Right. It's all kind of speculation.
Yeah.
It's definitely going to be an interesting dynamic, though, to the game, I think.
Yeah, something Higby did mention was that they were also playing with the idea of having 2 vehicles permanently or by default stationed inside the galaxy that you could put out. Those might actually be able to help in defending the galaxy as well as keeping other enemies at bay.
Yeah, he said that they were looking into the galaxy being able to carry a light vehicle. A
ATV,
lightning.
I think he said,
Yeah,
was an
well,
example.
yeah.
Just an example.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things he mentioned was that they were toying with the idea of maybe having a couple of ATVs available as a permanent part of the galaxy, so that somebody could just have those available to them when the galaxy landed, or whether they would have the thing just be able to load a vehicle.
Right.
So
I think it's really about balancing.
right.
Comes down to that, right? They might put it in and then beta comes out and everybody's like boo-hooing about it and they change it. So
Absolutely true.
they're going to listen to us.
Which is amazing stuff. But the idea, I actually missed that because I was reading chat about the quads being inside the gal, and that just feels to me like one of those old Lego sets where you had this thing that opened up into a whole ton of little things that just fly out everywhere. That just seems so freaking cool to me.
Right now I have a love-hate relationship with the galaxies, and it's something that I really have to wait until beta to actually see how it works. Because I just have all these different ideas of what's going to happen with it being so huge, with it having the turrets, being able to directly defend itself. I feel certain that it's going to become a super fortress in the middle of the field, depending on the players that are around it, if they're committed to putting down CE and defending it correctly.
Well,
I'm
keep in
wondering if
mind
that'll
that
ever get
gals
old.
are actually going to be pretty rare in PS2 because you can only get them at warp gates and tech plants, so you're limited if you can pull them. It's like if you could only pull an AMS from a tech, it'd be far worse. It's like having MBTs versus no MBTs except to scale up.
Yeah,
That
but
makes sense.
The other thing you also have to consider, it flies, and so
Yeah.
you'll be able to get to a galaxy into position pretty quick. All considering.
So if the galaxy can only be spawned at certain areas and there's no AMS, what's going to be our other spawn vehicle? How are we going to put assaults on bases?
Spawn on squads.
Oh yeah,
No.
that's right.
That's one of them, but that's
won't work.
unlockable. I think they're actually going to have a lot more spawn points around because they were talking about bunkers
Yeah.
in addition to being tower. So I imagine there's actually a lot of different spawn points in one base because we've seen the pictures of the fights and we've seen in doorways we see there's spawns up back in there and what have you. So some of the smaller little rooms inside the base courtyard are actually have their own individual spawns.
Yeah, it does sound like there's going to be a lot more different, a lot more opportunity for spawn rather than the old ones we're used to.
True, and Higby did say that in one of the Twitter Q&As that the bases would cover about 6 hexes. So I'm guessing if you can take over each individual hex, you have to at least have a spawn point there. So you can have all 3 factions have different parts of the base, and as such also spawn points in that base.
Ooh.
That's very
never did
interesting.
think of that actually, but it sounds about right. That will be a clusterfuck.
Actually, I love the galaxies in the original game, and I don't think they were used nearly as much as they could have been. Well, at least when I played, but that was after the expansion, so I think it's going to be interesting. It's just getting the balancing right is going to be key.
Broadcast updates really cut down Galaxy use. Prior to that, gals were freaking used every day. I remember when I first logged in, like the squad had specifically were asking for gal pilots.
Right. Well, I came in after core combat, so I imagine they weren't used as much.
Yeah, in my outfit we did gal drops all the time, so it's gonna be very interesting with this game with spawn points being as more frequent as they're probably gonna be. Still gonna miss the AMS.
Somebody threw up in IRC something that I actually been wondering too about the gal. Is that will you be able to deploy it on rooftops or not? Because we all know how, like, when assaulting a tower, the best idea is to land on the roof and force your way down. With the gals, will we be able to land on top of bases that way?
I think it's gonna be too big.
Yeah.
It's good size.
It looks huge.
Craft, yeah.
Actually, you should check the look, the exterior of 2 bases we were given now. It's the biolab, but there's basically nowhere to place a galaxy, and the AMP station. All the surface there, it's too small to place such a giant on top of it.
Yeah, and you also have to imagine they have more advanced flying physics. So I'm not quite sure if you can just put it down. So you might need a bit of runway as well.
Yeah.
And then we're not factoring if they're going to have to have room for expansion for when you land to actually deploy,
Yeah.
so to speak. They might need that room, and let's face it, they're big bases, but I don't think they're that big, especially rooftops.
Right. Like I said, we don't even know that we're going to have a completely VTOL ability, as somebody mentioned. You might have to have a little bit of rolling field to set this monster down. I mean, it's big. I mean, we've got a screenshot of somebody kneeling down in front of this thing, and I mean, you can get a pretty good scale of the size. We have that up on the screen right now.
See, those are all hurdles you have to jump over. But the question is not how hard is it, is it possible? Because if it is possible, you can believe someone's going to do it.
Yeah, it will be done.
Yeah, that's for
yeah.
sure.
It will
I was
definitely
looking
be
at
If
tried.
it will be possible, then it will be more like an exploit rather than an actual part of the game mechanic.
Well, there was a long discussion a while back whether or not dropping AMSs on airpads and blowing up there was a exploit. It eventually was ruled out that it was not. So I'd like to see that carried over.
All right, I think I'm going to not to interrupt you guys, but I think we're going to go ahead and move on to the next topic, unless anybody has any more additional feedback on the interview. Anyone? We kind of got off topic as usual. It happens.
Can I just close something with the Galaxy real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I have a quote from Sun Tzu that all warfare is based on deception. That's kind of my little 2 cents on the AMS being taken out. I'd really like to have some kind of a spawn back in that's cloaked.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't mind giving him some armor in the gal if I could get the cloak. Whoa.
That's a big cloak.
Yeah.
No guns, reduce passenger seating, basically remake the Phantasm Sans any weapons and have that be your spawn point.
Well, it should. if it give it a cloak ability, spawn cloak ability, you need to remove its armor, weapons, and everything. Otherwise, it's just going to be completely overpowered.
Decimate people. Not only that, like how easy was it for a tank to stumble upon an AMS? I mean, this thing's like 8 times the size of an AMS from the picture.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is the Thunderer replacing the AMS, but have like a modification for the Thunderer. It takes away all the weapons and like quite
Like
a few of the
two
passenger
variants.
seats.
I think that was actually
not 2 variants, just a modification, like a side grade.
yeah. I think that
You
was
take away most of the passengers. You take away all the guns, so you just have and take away a good chunk of armor, and that allows you to
And then-
deploy it with the cloak
Right.
field.
Maybe give it speed, because if it's not going to have guns, it needs to be able to outrun a tank.
It already does.
Right.
All
More
right.
speed, make it even faster.
Yeah.
I like speed.
Well, anyway, we enjoyed having Matt on tonight, and it was good to be able to do a Q&A. We hope we get him back again real soon, or maybe somebody else from Sony who would be able to get online and continue this type of interaction with the devs. So we're going to go ahead and start with our topic list for tonight. And I think what is our first topic here? Well, I guess probably the first topic that everybody has been real excited about since our last AGN is, of course, the V9 video trailer from Sony that was put out, and we actually got to see some actual game footage, some real gameplay, and boy, this is certainly stirred up a lot of interest in the community, and everybody is extremely excited to be able to actually see some gameplay, and I know I certainly was.
Yeah, actually, before, just wanted to interrupt here real quick as well and mention that I know that the stream is locking up for some reason, and I'm not entirely sure why, because everything is working perfectly fine here on our end, although it's a little bit laggy sometimes. Reloading Twitch TV helped when I reloaded it, but I'm not entirely sure what's going on, so the recording will be up after, hopefully, hopefully the recording doesn't have the freezes and lockups in it. But that will be up probably tomorrow sometime. Anyway, yeah. So back to the topic at hand, the new gameplay video that we actually all got to see.
And that's up on the screen now for those of you who are watching.
An edited version of it so that you can actually see just the gameplay.
Right.
But I just want to see Higby without the beard one last time.
One thing I will say about the new gameplay video is I really love how the air combat looks like it's going to be this time around. Like it seems much more intense and a lot more movement oriented.
Yeah, the physics of the airflight definitely look a lot better.
I still won't be able to fly. I never could in PlanetSide 1, and I won't be able to do it in 2. But it looks really awesome.
I managed to fly after 6 years.
Yeah, nice. So, what do you guys think? I mean, any obviously we've kind of discussed this to death in the forums, but what kind of jumped out at you about the gameplay when you started
It's
seeing it?
PlanetSide porn. That's what jumped out.
It
Made me
is
really
cool.
happy.
I mean, I had like multiple orgasms, really. I just went crazy for this. I mean, especially the night flying, the skeeters running onto the vanguards. That's just brilliant.
Oh man, the game looks so beautiful. Day-night cycles, everything. It's amazing.
As said before, yeah, the flying seems brilliant as well. I mean, I'm quite happy I have my joystick here. I mean, yeah, Higby, you hear this. I will kill you every freaking time in my Skype I see you. But just do a character on whatever American server you end up with. Just for that. Late night Higby runs.
You're gonna find a server he's on. And you're gonna create a character until you find one he's on.
Yeah. I search you. I find you.
Well, one thing I
No
noticed,
escape.
one thing I noticed after watching this more recently was that there's no crosshair when they're firing in the video.
Oh, it's more like,
the
that.
UI is off pretty much, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably
But-
have turned that off just for, video sake.
But all I have to say is this is just, I mean, we don't know when beta is happening. This is just rough, right? This isn't even full on ready yet, and it looks amazing.
Yeah,
What's it going to look like when it's released?
Yeah, I mean, if the game looks this good in such an early stage of development, I mean, we're it's still into alpha, not even close to beta. So, I mean, if the game looks this good, not optimized, and just in its form now, I mean, what's it going to look like when this thing is polished and done? It's going to be spectacular.
I'm just going to sit in there and watch the sunsets and sunrises.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It may not look as good as it does in the video.
Oh, it better look that good. They set the standard.
Hopefully it'll look better, yeah.
Yeah.
I fully hope so that they can really keep all the details on current day machines and everything. But usually you see early trailers and games look fantastic and everything, and later they just took out some of it because it just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Sadly, quite common.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money I have to spend to make it work. I'll make it work. In my opinion. I mean, if you're a gamer, you're a serious gamer, you're going to invest to play the games you love. So
right.
They wouldn't expect any
Good
different,
point.
even if it's a free to play or not. So
I mean, everybody seems pretty impressed and pretty stoked about this engine. So, and they're pretty convinced that it's going to do what it's doing now at load. So, I mean, of course, the price is in the pudding at the end, but we'll see.
I'd definitely dip into my house fund to play PlanetSide.
Nice.
I love that shot of the tank battles there with those shells flying through. I mean, that's just so cool.
Yeah, I think what strikes me, and we all said it when we actually watched the live video that time, but I think what strikes me is the lighting that you see at night.
That's one hell of a thing.
Yeah, the lighting in this game is just incredible.
Yeah, I mean, when the mosquito is coming in there and shooting what appear to be rockets of some sort, it looks pretty awesome.
Speaking
That looks
of
absolutely
rockets,
fantastic.
me and Insanio, we discussed the thing earlier before the start. It was about the moment of the video. There is a guy that receives a missile shot at his face and stays alive. You can see it if you watch the HD video at very, very low speed. So I was wondering, what do you guys think about what they call it, noob tubing?
Well, Sith and I did talk about this, so I probably should offer up my side too. But a quick shout out to the programmers who have been on the PSU forums for making all this. You guys are freaking awesome for putting this together. But in regards to the noob tubing, if you're going to have a man-portable one-hit kill weapon, you better make it really, really hard to get and make it really, really sluggish and give it a whole ton of problems. But I really don't like AoE high damage weaponry against infantry. It's like how the Phoenix and the Striker were both great AVs, but I would absolutely jack all against infantry. I'd like to see that continued.
It's meant for the one purpose and not for the others,
Yeah, that's one beauty of PlanetSide. Unlike many other games, every weapon fits its own role, not just you can take a bazooka and kill everyone around.
Everybody had their role in PlanetSide. You weren't just a one-man army, and that's not what we want.
Yeah, and every weapon was fairly specialized too. I mean, if it was an AV weapon, yeah, it really did not do, well against infantry, as it should.
At least I don't want to be a one-man army. I don't know about everybody else.
Just me. Only me, nobody else.
Hammo wants his own special weapon. FYI.
No, not really.
Hammer's hammer.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be pretty sweet.
He just wants that GM title, where he can go in and.
Yeah, I can just turn people off.
Orbital strike with no cooldown.
Right.
That's right. That's what I want.
What did you say to me?
Beamer with half damage.
Yeah.
As long as I get my red and black wolf armor, it's all cool.
That would have come in handy when you were getting TK'd a lot in PlanetSide.
Yeah, no kidding, right? It would have come in
and
handy.
me. I was getting TK'd all the time.
Yeah, unfortunately, when people know your name, you tend to get TK'd a little bit more than you would prefer. Yeah.
I'm afraid right now.
Goes with the territory. Yeah, so welcome to the club, guys.
Yeah, that's right now. We're making all of you infamous, too. So
Yeah.
I can't wait to kill
Stalkers all
Basti.
around.
Bring it on.
Yeah, bring it on. I'm in my max.
exactly BTK though.
It's times like this I'm glad I'm a cloaker.
Yeah.
You'll never know when
Still
it's
see your
coming,
name,
Basti.
though.
Right.
Oh,
Good
no,
luck
I
getting
never had
me.
a problem about being TK'd.
I'm always like, when I play PlanetSide 1, I would always have to like, I literally would be like paranoid playing TR. Because I get killed by, I won't say who I got killed by, but there was this one person that always killed me. Starts with an S. Very annoying. What are you doing, Hannah?
we're both drifting off.
I know, you guys are watching the video.
We're like
Stay
in
on
the
topic.
zone.
Yeah. Yeah, we're mesmerized.
Or
Emma's got
watching
this.
the PlanetSide 2 porn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got it on a loop over here on the computer, and we're both just zoning right off. It has that effect on everybody, I think.
Yeah, we've got it in loop so that I can just kind of pull it up anytime I want, like so. So that you guys
Yeah,
can
there's
check it out.
There was something interesting. I was actually just watching the video. It's very quick, but it's when they go from the first person of the mosquito, just before the video cuts to the next shot of the mosquito falling down. On the top right of the objectives, a third objective pops up, and it says "Protect the Eastern SCU." I don't know what it is. I don't know if you guys noticed it before, but it just came out like first time I just saw it.
Protect
I never
the
noticed
eastern
it.
what?
SCU?
Yes, protect the Eastern SCU.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was trying to find the clip.
Shield creation unit? Because that kind
Shield-
of will lead it into it, because I think
Shield
there are
something
shields
unit,
over it.
yeah.
Yeah. Because if it's in a base fight, I imagine there you have multiple shields in multiple sections that we've seen before. So that could very well make sense.
Like
Higby,
shield conversion unit.
Higby, you're listening. Tell us an ISC. What's an SCU?
Hannah's trying to pause it.
Put it in all caps.
Very quick.
Yeah.
Did you find
Shield
it?
charge unit. Yeah, that would make sense.
You gonna put it up, Hannah? He found. I think he paused
Yeah,
it.
I'm just tweaking it here, and then I'll bring it up for you guys.
Arklagger, you're here as well. Go. Tell us.
I don't see Higby saying anything. Channel. I think he's gonna remain quiet.
He's hiding out.
He's an
Damn it.
observer.
He's got that troll face right now, just listening to all of us.
Well, he's laughing in
Probably.
chat, but I'm not seeing any response. ...
Higby. ... Give in to peer pressure. No, we don't want to get you in trouble.
Nah, we got.
You've already answered everything that.
They're spawn
They're
controllers.
spawn controllers.
Spawn
Oh,
control
there
unit.
you go.
Yeah. There we go.
Medley crash cash unit?
Smelly cash unit.
Nice.
I love you guys in ARC. It's great.
So that's interesting. So you'll either be able to take over or destroy things called spawn control units.
Wonder what they will do. I mean,
Maybe that's a way to have a spawn point, or like you can
I
like cap
imagine
it.
it's,
wait. That could actually be a way to stop the spawn camping. If you couldn't actually enter the spawn room, but could take out the spawn control unit that is outside of the spawn room to prevent the spawning.
Yeah, we've got that up on the screen here. It's going to be
Yeah,
coming
for
up
those of you guys who are wondering.
as soon as our feed catches up. There it is.
Spawn control unit. Interesting.
Yes. So obviously this is
That-
a pretty neat video, and everybody's pretty happy to actually see some
wait.
footage. Yeah, go ahead.
It's SCU something, because it's not the exclamation mark, obviously.
I think it is.
I think it is, because if you look down at like defend the control console, there's a mark at the end of the console, and it's very similar. It's just the resolution isn't good enough to give us the clarity of the dot in the full thing.
Yeah, locally here it looks like an exclamation point.
Well, indeed.
It's amazing
Today
what
we learned
people
the
can pick
objectives.
out. It's amazing what people can pick out when they're really picking out a video.
Good catch, man.
There's your ultra mega zoom right there. It'll come up in a second. It takes a minute for our feed to catch up. That is if it
Keep
doesn't
enhancing
lock up
it.
randomly. Oh, I did.
Yeah,
There we
where's
go.
Auto?
There's your ultra
Need one
mega zoom right
enhancing.
there.
Oh, more zoom. You need to see each pixel.
I don't think that would
Zoom in
work
until
out
you see
very well.
Higby's troll face.
Enhance.
Yeah.
I mean, the same stuff happened with Higby's tweets, photo tweets, till he, enhancing all the stuff, enhancing especially his desktop, and finding clothes on his icons, until he started this crazy background.
I think it's
Of
just a
all
new
the icons?
background. It's a coincidence.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
He's hiding something.
Sorry, I'm sitting here putting the video
Zooming.
back to where it should be.
So any other comments on the V9 video? I know there was a news site that kind of tore it apart a little bit because of the editorial, but again, understandable. That was a Chinese audience, and they were definitely trying to speak slow and enunciate for their Chinese friends, and that's certainly understandable. So I thought it was a good chance for us to see actually some gameplay. I mean, our first real chance to see some live gameplay, and I hope they do a lot more of this type of stuff. And a good trailer would do a lot to help promote the game. And I think this is a good start. I just hope we see more.
I'm really interested in seeing what battles will be like inside the bases.
Oh my god, what's happening? Oh.
Sorry about that. Throwing you guys all over the place, huh?
I mean, I think what will really sell this game is to really show the scale of combat. Because we probably won't really be able to do that until beta, when we can get hundreds of people on the field and actually get some footage of that. And that I think that's going to be the big selling point. But
Indeed.
it's nice to see at least some mechanics, actually some live stuff. I mean, we've seen a lot of screenshots up until now, but to see this live action is very exciting because it really does make the game shine.
I'd agree that I want to see inside the bases, but
Oh yeah, I can't
maybe
wait
they're
for
not
that.
done yet. You know,
I don't think they are. I think
to be honest,
Yeah.
the detail in the world. Can you imagine the detail inside?
Right. I mean, if they're putting that much effort into the outside detail, I'm sure that they're doing just as much, for the inside of the base and the interiors. And they probably just don't want to let us see it until it's somewhere near presentable.
Right.
They don't want to disappoint.
I think the base interiors are going to blow our minds.
Maybe that's why they don't want to blow our minds. That could get messy, and then there won't be anybody to play.
Everybody's mouth will hang
Everybody's
open
gonna-
and start drooling.
Everybody's mind will be
Everybody's
just.
gonna sit inside a base and consider it a museum.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
why should
guys.
I go
We wanted
outside?
to release the
It's
game, but we
shiny.
can't. We'll kill you all.
So, hopefully, like I said, we get to beta, we'll actually see some stuff. And speaking of beta,
That's a good segue.
thank you.
Very good.
For those of you that don't know, beta signups. PlanetSide 2's official website has released their beta signup sheet or page.
I haven't even done that yet.
Oh, my goodness, Jen.
She
How have you
fails.
not done that?
Yes, how could you not do that?
I figured that I'd be a shoo-in to get into beta.
No, she's not.
I mean, I am, I am sleeping with the admin of PlanetSide Universe. That kind of helps.
Or does it?
I don't know. Does it?
I don't know.
I think you're screwed.
Basti's probably right.
You don't know the running joke with CDL, my outfit. Him shaking his head, don't say anything, so I won't.
It's probably not a topic that should be discussed here.
Moving right along.
I'll leave you wondering.
But anyway, we have beta available. I mean, was everybody as excited as I was to see that they'd actually got that set up and are actually starting to take names for beta?
I was kind of confused.
I think to me it was surprising more than anything else.
Considering there is a thread on the forum where a guy or somebody, I'm not sure who that was, found some hidden message in a lore story. So I think everyone
you mean
is
the
very
date
excited.
stuff?
Yep.
Ignore it. I mean, they wouldn't announce it like that or hint it like that. You don't do that. If you have an actual beta date that is ready to release, you press it all over the net in everyone's face.
Well, it's not the point. The point is people are expecting the thing, and that is why there's loads of speculation, loads of uninformed guesses and stuff like that. Seriously, just the fact that there is a beta sign up already makes people, what should I call it, burning with anticipation.
Well, Jumpgate Evolution had a beta sign up for like 3 years. It
Well,
never
it's
went into
Jumpgate
beta.
Evolution, and this is PlanetSide 2, and we have Higby.
Which
We have Higby.
We have Higgles.
yeah. Which lore thing are you guys referring to when you say that beta date thing? Which story was that? I'm not recalling.
Pretty sure that was
Well,
the corporate
the-
one where they're discussing with each other and their dates that filter down through it.
Okay. I see. Sorry, I just
NC
couldn't recall
one.
which one it was.
I mean, truth be known, beta is, going to be whenever they decide that it's ready. I mean, I'm sure that they probably have, an early date, an optimum date, a late date, but I'm sure that it's not going to be until they're done with the game, or to the point where they're ready to have us come in and start, beating on it.
It's still hopeful.
Virago put something up in IRC about the beta date, and he says Basti is correct. When the date is announced, it will be in everyone's face.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Oh yes.
I was surprised about it more than anything else. I really was not expecting it to come at that time of year when it came, just kind of randomly during the holidays. It was totally a surprising thing to me.
Nice present, but it's just a sign up.
What's that?
Also,
It's really
Some of-
just.
Well, yeah, it's
I
just a
don't-
sign
I
up.
don't know why everyone is freaking out about it. I mean, it's cool and stuff, but it's just signing up for beta.
It's because it's PlanetSide, and people love PlanetSide.
They might have a big surprise for us at GDC.
Yeah, that's
I
why.
hope so.
That is why we scheduled the next show for just after GDC.
If they announce beta at GDC, I will just won't have any pants left anymore.
I don't know what's going to come out of GDC, but hopefully it's awesome, and hopefully we have some good stuff to talk about.
Well, Thierry is there, Higby is there.
Yeah, the whole gang's there, so that leads me to believe that we should be able to see something cool. We'll find out for sure.
And yeah, there was in one of the last screenshots where we could actually see Higby's desktop instead of this mess. There was this one file. What
March
was it?
20th.
Something about March. Yeah,
20th.
March something.
GDC is 15 and 19th, right?
No, it's
Yeah, the
beginning.
5 to 9.
Yeah, 5 to 9.
5 to 9. It was March 10th.
March 10th something. Something about March 10th.
Well, we don't know that it was March 10th, to be fair, because it said 3/10. And we don't know if that, like Higby said, it could have been the third revision for the 10th day of any month. It could have been a month and a day. I mean,
It could have just been something that wasn't related to PlanetSide at all.
But that'd be awesome if it was.
Right.
That'd be awesome if it was, because it's the day after Ham's birthday. Putting that out there, Higgles.
Yeah, right? That would be an awesome birthday
We're not
gift.
going to say how old Ham is because he's a little sensitive, but that'd
Wait,
be
is
an
your birthday
awesome
March
32nd birthday.
Oh.
What? Woo.
Huh?
I didn't
What?
listen. I'm following IC. Who is 32?
Ham is turning 32 in March.
That would be
Oh
me.
god, you old fuck.
I know, right?
Hey.
Higby's gonna send you the alpha test TR medal, but it's gonna have a picture of Higby doing the troll face in the center of it.
Ham, I think we
Might
have the same
actually be more
birthday.
awesome.
Oh, yeah?
March 9th?
Yes, the 9th. Yep.
Excellent.
Correct.
That is my birthday too.
Awesome. The
Just
next
thrown out there.
the next AGN is going to be on March 10th. So mark your calendars now. In fact, I will put up the graphic so you
We're
guys
going to
can
have
see
to
it.
get Ham a nice hat to wear. Happy birthday hat.
yes, yes. You should be nice and hungover for the show.
Probably will be.
What am I supposed to look forward to in all of February?
Oh, we'll definitely be back for AGN in February as well.
Probably not, actually, because we're coming up right at the end of. We're coming up right at the end of January, and
we're not going to do a February show.
I don't think so. I think we're probably going to go straight to March.
Oh, okay. Well, I sit corrected.
Well, February is a short month, right? So
there is my birthday next week.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I'm not.
Should we sing to you tonight?
No, it's okay. Please don't. 28. I'm not as old as Hama.
Anyway, all right. As usual, we got off topic. It's funny how that always seems to happen. All right, let's.
It's
there
usually
was a topic.
Yeah. Last I heard, I think
beta,
there was.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was the beta sign up. Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys.
But
anyway,
we'll let Hama steer us back on topic.
Yeah. So the next topic that we have here is I don't know if you guys recall it or not, but there was a PC Gamer interview with Matt Higby. I don't know, what was it? Middle of December or something like that. Well, it was after our last AGN because we didn't talk about it, but where Matt had mentioned that they may be doing some type of, obviously nothing is set in stone for this, but that there was going to be maybe possibly some type of like a premium subscription tier or something like that, where you could elect to pay a monthly fee or something like that. I know that's something that we had discussed. We have discussed as a community in the forums quite a bit. Because a lot of people are willing to pay extra or pay monthly for something if they get some additional, some type of benefit out of it. But I was curious, how do you guys feel about that? You think that's a good move for like a free-to-play type of game? Obviously, it was not going to be required. So, I mean, what you think it's a good move? And aside from that, I mean, what do you think those benefits that you should get for paying a monthly fee would be? Anyone?
I've heard inventory space to be a logical thing, a larger inventory for paying things. But I've also heard arguments that like having a boost in EXP or having skills to train faster or skills to train both at the same time. I've heard those are arguments that it's just selling a different kind of power, but you're still selling power in that case if you're going through premium.
Yeah, I can't see premium working in a different way than Captain Insano described, because the shop, otherwise you're going to be like buying cosmetic stuff or other little things. So if you're paying a premium subscription, like what all are you going to be paying for? What can you continuously pay for? So I think it would be... What was that?
DCUO actually did it this way. If you have premium account, you have access to some areas that you don't have access to if you don't have premium. Well, I highly doubt that we can expect something like that with PlanetSide, but we cannot exclude this possibility.
This shouldn't happen for PlanetSide, really. I mean, it's in an FPS that usually means you have this zone where everyone is, and you have this zone where some people can go and no one ever goes there because it's just not massive. And it's hard to fight there. I mean, you see this in Call of Duty actually. They have these DLCs where you buy the DLC, have new maps. Usually you buy the DLC and you quickly figure out that not many people have it.
Yeah, so apparently DCUO gives you for a premium subscription you get free DLC as well as unlimited inventory and money.
No. Yeah, but that's something we don't... Well, actually limiting resources in PlanetSide.
Yeah. I mean, obviously that doesn't specifically apply to PlanetSide 2, but it's something that, they've done. So, free downloadable content. Don't know if we're going to have DLC for PlanetSide 2. I wouldn't be surprised if we do, but we don't really know that for certain.
You pay for the premium package, you get the Higby stick-on beard for your character.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yes.
Now,
so you can run up to somebody and tear it off, and it makes like a ripping noise. Sorry.
And they start clawing at the ground, and my face.
Well, I can tell you a little bit about Lord of the Rings Online. What they do when you have a VIP package, you do get a couple of extra inventory bags. You get access to the different quest areas, of which you could, spend the turbine points and purchase these quest areas. But also, you get a certain amount of those turbine points every month to spend. So you don't really get anything that you can't do in the game. You just get it a little bit quicker because they give you the points each month. You could go through the game and earn them. So that's sort of how they do their model. Basically, it's the same thing that you can do by spending the turbine points. They just give you a bunch of them to spend, and they give you some of the perks that you would normally have to go spend those turbine points on.
Be interesting to see how they do it because they've already said they're not going to sell power. So
right.
I mean, obviously it's an FPS game. You don't want to do that.
But I mean, if you're going to be buying the side grades, which I think they mentioned on the store that you might be able to buy a side grade, it wouldn't be any different than what you would be able to get in the game. Maybe just a different variation. Maybe that's something they would give you as a premium subscription.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I was
still earn it.
Right.
While we were talking about this, I came up with an idea that they could do. However, I'm loath to say it aloud because then it actually might find its way into the game. And it's outfits. There's been talk about getting areas for outfits to do. I'm wondering if we could have landlords, with SOE being the landlord, and have actually cost cash for outfits to expand their territories and what have you, and have various things, sort of like a rent. But once again, that's villainous enough that I'm sort of sad I said it.
Now they're doing it.
I heard there's a special place for landlords in hell, so I don't think SOE wants to go that route.
Seems if they were to go with a subscription model, they probably would offer something with convenience. I think that's like the easiest thing to speculate about.
Oh yeah, what you see in a lot of, in some other free-to-play games, is that they do sell enhanced experience rate, enhanced resource gaining. It's very common, and it does seem to sell very well in those games.
And I say it's not actually, it's not even power in the general meaning of it. I mean, the XP booster, you don't actually buy it unless you start to understand how the game works. So basically, if you know nothing of the game, you don't spend any money on it. And then when you're high enough, when you basically need those boosters to just level some other aspects of your gameplay, which are, with something like side trees for your main tree, then you buy boosters. So it's not actually power.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree with that. Because the thing is remember when you're buying like a booster for this, like you have to be able to, kill people. I mean, there are probably some people who would be able to get as much EXP without a boost than with someone does get a boost. And the other thing what's nice about the boosts is that like if you're going to be playing for if you got like an area of time to spend, you can buy a boost and like get a ton of EXP. I think that's like the best thing about the convenience.
I fully agree. I mean, Tribes S can do that the same way. You can unlock classes and stuff by buying them, and you can just play the game and earn points to unlock them. And you also have boosts that makes things quicker. And yeah, you can play the game fully and get all the content without ever paying a single quid. And I'm doing that right now, and it's brilliant, really. It takes ages, but it works.
One example, though, that Sony should never take, it's not totally related to premiums, but they should never, ever add APP leasing system. Do you know what it is?
What was that again?
What is that?
Explain.
In All Points Bulletin, in its current state, you you spend money just to get access to a weapon for a certain period of time. Well, by money I mean both in-game money and your actual currency. So, and 10 days you don't play a game, but you bought a gun and all your money goes to waste. That's the problem. I don't want to see it in PlanetSide. So if you buy a gun, of course, not the powerful gun, the great OP. Then what was it? Some dinosaur launcher. So if you buy it, you keep it till the end. No leasing.
Tri-barrel air-cooled Velociraptor.
Yeah, exactly that one.
I was going to ask the status on the Velociraptor launcher during the interview. I totally forgot.
I think the holdup is in the art department.
Yeah. Clearly, like, no, I'm not doing that.
There's a internal strife they're fighting over whether or not to actually develop it.
T-Ray just doesn't want to do it because it's NC.
So, NC are just going with placeholder models? So, anyway, to the topic. Back to the topic before we deeper derail.
Thank you, Basti.
Nice work.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Free
Love
to
you,
play,
Basti.
yes. It comes down to this, what they should do and shouldn't do. They should do loads of cosmetic stuff because that works really well, seen in Team Fortress 2, for example. People just buy huts like crazy. And some kind of boost, like faster XP gaining and faster skill training. And everything else, yeah, don't put it on the cash shop, just in-game. All side rates, resources, all of it just in-game. Because if you put it on the cash shop, you have this sell power kind of mentality. Even if you don't intend, even if you just do it lightly, you just get that right away from people telling, yeah, they selling power, crap game. That should be avoided at all costs, really.
I agree.
Yep. It's bad road to go down.
Bullhorns for mag riders. I like that one.
Yeah, customizable horns.
Yeah, sell different horns for all
Right.
vehicles.
All of you guys the last
Photo
time
ornaments.
asked for pictures of the cat. And there you go. It's right next to Jen right now. There's one of our cats. There he is. By special request, and he's off camera. Well, he enjoyed his few moments of fame anyway, it looks like. So until next time.
I'm always tweeting him. Though. I'm always tweeting pictures of him because he's such a good cat. His name's Chase, by the way.
Anyway,
Hi,
sorry.
Chase.
I saw him sitting there on the camera. I had to show him. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next topic. Actually, there's one thing I wanted to mention here real quick before we keep on going here. I'm sure some of you folks have seen Radar X in the channel, on the forums, and on Twitter, and so on. He's actually the new community manager for PlanetSide 2. So give him your round of applause, and he'll be the community manager, I guess, probably from here on out. So, yay!
Yay.
Welcome aboard, Radar, and definitely enjoy working with you, and look forward to working with you much more here in the future.
We know he's really active on the forums, and
Yes, he's very active on the forums,
Yep.
and he actually gave me the info on DCUO that I was not aware of. So that's where I got that from. I'm not really that smart. I really had no idea.
Welcome, Radar.
everybody's clapping for you in IRC.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yay.
Yeah, make sure you check out all the devs posts at PlanetSide Universe. Use
Mm-hmm.
the VIP tracker located at the top of the screen, and you can keep track of all of the devs and the important people at Sony who post on the forums.
Definitely.
VIP tracker.
Indeed.
Great feature.
Oh, he's actually in IRC.
Yes, he is. Yep, he's been talking in there for a bit. All right, we're going to go ahead and move on to our last topic here, and which will probably take a little while because there's a whole lot of content. So we're going to talk about the various Twitter images we've been seeing. We've got kind of all of them from the past month saved locally, so we can kind of put them up on the screen. But are there any in particular that you guys would want to talk about? Or there's obviously been tons of them, and Higby does them quite frequently, which is awesome. Gets to fill in it fills in the gaps between when we get official stuff and we get. Although, you know what, one thing that I am missing is there hasn't been there haven't been many lunch shots. You know, I don't.
Yeah, we're missing the screenshot and the sandwich
Yeah.
things there.
I mean, is Higby stopped eating?
We hope not.
Or is maybe
That's dedication.
maybe
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe
he's
don't eat until beta.
Well, we know he stopped shaving, so we don't know about eating.
maybe.
Probably can't eat anymore because the beard is blocking his
I was
mouth.
just about to say maybe he's keeping his meals in the beard, and so now he doesn't need to have lunches every day. I mean, you never know.
Just like pulls out a little piece for a snack.
Yeah, you know, a little snap of hamburger or something.
Right.
It's actually going to be very interesting to see how long
Leftovers?
his hair gets.
Yes. I offered to do the same, and Jen said that I couldn't.
His hair is so short. Oh, it would look horrible.
I was gonna grow my hair until beta as well, but she won't allow it.
Sorry, guys.
Imagine if beta starts end of this year.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He could get pretty shaggy by then, yeah.
He could be a wizard.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Like I said,
could
put a
be a
white
wizard,
robe on him.
yeah.
He's Jesus.
Yeah.
He could be Hisby, wizard Higby.
Right.
Never mind.
Hippie Higby.
Hippie.
Wisby? Yeah.
Wisby.
Hisby, not Wisby.
Wisby. It's better.
Wisby?
Yeah.
Okay. Wisby, I guess. Wisby. Yeah. Although
That's bad too.
there's some other negative connotations
Yeah,
associated
maybe not.
with
Anybody
that.
else come up with anything
So let's
good?
not use Wisby.
What about in the
We'll,
AGN channel? Shout out something that would go well with Wizard and Higby.
Hizzleby? Oh,
Oh.
it actually is a wizard.
Hisker.
There's a wizard in the channel.
Wayward Wizard.
It's good to have a wizard always watching the AGN.
That's right.
Thanks for tuning in, man. That's awesome.
I think you found the source of your technical problems.
I know, right?
Shenanigans all around.
Yeah, indeed. But anyway, so Twitter images.
Yeah, we've had a bunch of screenshots and Twitter images.
Tons of
and all kinds of things here in this last month.
Hizzard. Yeah, that's good.
Hizzard.
Brilliant.
The one image, the one that I believe T-Ray tweeted with what we believe is Hassan. I thought that one looked really beautiful, and that led me to tweet to T-Ray that I expect to get so many free kills in this game just from people taking in the sights of all the scenes around here.
Oh, definitely for sure. The
Speaking of
detail is
devil,
awesome.
were there any confirmation of those screenshots being different content?
I don't think that they've actually officially confirmed it, although that's definitely another continent. It could. Well, they did say that there's going to be a whole lot more varied biomes on single continents. But this is not the usual Indar we've been staring at.
No, this is definitely pretty
Oh,
different.
That's one thing that's for sure. And then we have there's another one as well, Mars. I don't know if it's it's got to be on there because it was recent. But the one with the NC and the sniper rifle.
Yep.
Or we don't know if it's actually a sniper rifle, but
Give me a second. I'll try to find that.
You have wrong priorities. It's the
Is that
screenshot of the
gone?
tree where hundreds of criminals were hanged.
That's one with the galaxy.
The hanging tree.
Yeah,
Uh,
the great
there's a lot of
haunted
those, actually.
hanging tree.
How about the one with the NC Sunderer and the TR sitting next to it?
which one is was that one recent? The
It's
night.
with the Sunderer and the ATV next to it. The ATV has headlights on it.
Yeah,
and
the
there's a guy
the
crouching next to it.
the night shot.
It looks like he has red.
Yeah, it's back away. Just give me a second here.
It's
Yeah, also
actually
the
fairly
galaxy
recent.
shot
I'm not sure why.
Was pretty cool with the guy standing next to it.
They must not. They don't look like they're sorted.
Nope.
No, that's not it either. Sorry, we're randomly browsing through our media library. It doesn't seem to be sorting in any way that makes any sense. I see images coming up that were from
not-
a while
not-
ago.
Yeah. I thought we had them sorted by date here. Let me check again.
Thumbnail view it is. But yeah, I know which one you guys are talking about. It's actually he asked on Twitter what we all wanted to see, and
Right.
nighttime won out. Nighttime and nighttime is what won out because it's a nighttime shot. I thought there was another component to it, but I can't remember.
Well, with that nighttime, then I'm just a bit disappointed because that isn't really as dark as it should be.
Yeah, it doesn't look as dark as what we've seen either. I'm curious if that was dusk or something, or maybe I don't know. Kind of weird. It didn't look as dark as It did not look as dark as what we've seen.
That's the one you're looking at.
Well, remember in previous, I think the last time we talked about that, they could control how dark night gets, and they could go on oscillations.
No, that's not the one either.
Yeah,
So that may have just been a bright moon.
Yeah, I would like to see one with no moon.
See how dark it
really.
gets.
As dark as it gets. That would be brilliant, because I want to have this thrill of being in a mood, in the forest, all by myself, and hearing this crack from over there, and not knowing is it friendly, is it enemy, is it a cloak? I am going to die, oh god!
They're still trying to find that picture.
Thought we had all those.
There was a lot of pictures this time.
There definitely was.
Since the last AGN cast, so they're shuffling through trying to find it.
Being less than.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys
hiding
just
on
keep
me.
talking about other screenshots until we find that one.
Well, I found the one.
There's the NC one. He's gonna.
Well, we can always talk about Galaxy's landing gear.
Yeah, I don't even have that one here. That's strange.
Let's talk about the galaxy size.
Yeah, it's giant, and landing gear is
big.
Is small.
I just pulled up the nighttime shot. Little delayed, I know, but I found it.
It wouldn't be AGN if there wasn't some sort of technical difficulty
well,
or.
In our defense, it is a rather large library of images. Thank you, Higby, for that.
We're not complaining.
No, we are not.
Yeah, well, I couldn't find it because it wasn't in my list. For some reason.
I find it interesting how big the vehicles are this time around, looking at the Sunderer and the Galaxy.
Actually, everything is big. Bases, vehicles.
Yeah.
Blizzard's understanding of Epic.
Feels like a car commercial. Everything's huge! Big sales! Big...
here's the other one.
I actually think that the Sunderer is smaller than the regional.
There's a shot with some NC next to one, and it's pretty huge.
Yeah, but look at it compared to the ATV.
ATV seems to be a bit bigger as well.
It looks like you could fit like 5 ATVs inside the Sunderer.
Enough creative stacking, you probably might be able to fit more.
There's one of the other ones that we were trying to find earlier too, with the
possible sniper rifle.
Yep, and what definitely appears to be, looks like Hassan to me.
It's definitely not a desert.
It's certainly Hassan-like, yes.
Yeah, it's
I like the way
Mouse.
I like the way that NC looks. Looks really cool.
Wait, I remember, if I remember correctly, Higby tweeted this saying this is a sniper rifle.
Yes.
Which would mean this is a cloaker.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an NC cloaker.
So, badass, right there.
Oh.
I think NC Pops jumped.
Then again, the TR cloaker that T-Ray posted, like, I think was yesterday, or at least last week somewhere.
Is that the female one?
Yeah, the female one. That one looks pretty epic as well.
Macs are a little friendly browsing, more friendly browsing media. That's, I guess that's one benefit. It was a little easier to find it over here. But yeah, the scale of vehicles are definitely much more epic this time around than they were in the last game. I mean, especially that Galaxy shot.
Yeah, everyone thought that the soldier in front of the Galaxy was a rocket at first.
Yeah. Yeah, it certainly gives you a good idea of scale.
It would be nice to see how it scales towards bases and continents as well.
Yeah, I mean, even the Liberator looked pretty huge. Which was
Some interesting fossils in the background as well in this picture.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Wait a
Yeah,
second, I
but
just
Rock
noticed
has a
something
very-
at the galaxy right now. There seems to be no side entrance.
Go ahead
For
and
the
bring it back
troops.
up for you guys. Bring it back up.
I mean, they probably cut that out because of the. Are they removing the vehicle animations? I believe that was confirmed. That they're gone.
Well-
For now, they're gone. Yeah.
To entering and exiting, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's confirmed. Gone for now. So.
The for now part is what's getting me, because for now would mean, yeah, we have it. We can add it later if we do the extra work, so our vehicle support it basically. Right now the galaxy looks like everyone would be loaded into the back or magically teleport into it. It brings up something I wanted to ask anyway. And I actually asked it several times, but never got an answer. How do people get into vehicles? Is it just like a spot in PlanetSide where you stand on the spot, press use, and you go into that seat? Or is it like just go close to the vehicle at any point and just press use and you are in a random seat and you can switch your seat from inside the vehicle?
Yeah, in the first PlanetSide, you had these yellow circles on the ground next to the doors and such, and players would have to go up, press G to get inside there, and if they wanted to get into another seat, they'd have to get out and go to that correct area and hit G again to get inside the vehicle where they wanted to be.
And the entire switching while inside the vehicle is actually quite an important bit, because that is breaking the game on many, many levels. See in Battlefield, for example, you just have people driving a tank close to the enemy, switching instantly to the gunner seat, gunning, killing everyone, and when they get under fire, just switch back instantly and drive away. And it's
I had a
annoying as
friend
well.
who did something similar to that, except it was an air combat similar, and he'd man every gun on a bomber simultaneously.
Oh,
Yeah, that
That
was
as well.
a problem. Helicopter. It's quite a common tactic at in Battlefield. You just drive and periodically hot swap for gunner seat in it. So you have two seats and one pilot for the chopper.
Imagine
I think if Liberator has, if vehicles have that instant switching between seats, then we can have a Liberator flying around constantly, with the pilot constantly swapping seats and just shooting the crap out of everyone.
imagine like a Sunderer or a main battle tank, and they have like anti-aircraft on one gun and anti-vehicular on the other gun. Then if they can switch inside the vehicle, then they're just like going up to these nice little positions, little locations, and like fighting other vehicles. Aircraft comes up, oh, I'll switch to my other gun, take out the aircraft. Like that would indeed be game breaking.
Maybe they're going to determine that in beta. See what the community thinks, if it's going to be overpowered or, hey, the community doesn't like it, so we're not going to let them switch seats. I mean, we don't know if it's even in the game. So, I don't think it's good. Battlefield.
If it's in the game, you will see the very first shitstorm of PlanetSide 2.
Mm-hmm.
It is broken in every way, really.
As I've seen a Battlefield video of a guy flying one of those planes and jumping out and using an NG rocket and taking out the other plane and jumping back in. Do we really want something like that in PlanetSide?
I would hope not. Yeah.
Well, except for the last part, we actually had that with the striker launchers. I remember back in the day, if you want a dogfight, there was always the risk of the enemy bailing out and hitting you with an AV weapon.
Just to finish you off, It only takes one if your shields are down and you've been hit enough. Yeah, I hope they don't do it, personally. But
we yell at them until they stop doing it, if they do it.
well, they said they're going to listen. They said they're going to listen to the community. They've said that, so enough people yell about it.
Yeah, and Matt even said that on the interview tonight, that this is the first time for him when he's been developing a game that they've actually really had a good sounding board of the community to really bounce ideas off, to really get that feedback as they're in the creative process. So, if they're being that attentive to detail and are looking and following what the community is reacting to with their various different ideas, I'm sure that when it comes to beta, there's enough people that scream and holler about it that they will change it. So I mean they're being very attentive at this stage of the game. There's no reason to think that they wouldn't continue to be so as things go down the road.
The media is so different now. Like the internet is just so much different than it was back in PlanetSide days. They have all these social media outlets now.
Yeah, the level of interactivity is tenfold.
If they don't use it, they're stupid, in my opinion, which they're not because they're using it.
Well, I think what's interesting is that, game development really didn't have that interaction with the community, and they're actually using it to improve their game. I mean, it allows them to not decide something and put all kinds of effort into it and then find out that everybody hates it. They can toss out an idea and kind of gauge how people feel and get a reaction. And even he said he was surprised how passionate people were about things that he didn't think that
they would be.
Vehicle animations being one of them. The entry-exit animations.
It'd be interesting.
I just pulled up that random shot there as I was scrolling through because I thought that tower was pretty crazy looking.
Definitely an air tower.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy looking for sure.
It looks like an air tower, but I don't know how you'd get into the vehicles once you got out of them. Those may just be solar panels.
Or it can
looks
be
like they are.
a facepalm tower. It
You
actually
think all of them
uses...
just go up and just smack
Yep.
itself in the head?
Exactly.
Every time it captured.
That would be interesting.
I don't know. If you look at the construction itself, it looks like the panels might actually slide down to catch the aircraft or something crazy like that.
Praying mantis tower, but a little fly goes to New York. Wham!
Maybe they become lax and we see air towers walking the lands.
Mobile towers. That would be awesome.
Well, the bases are now sentient. The towers have minds of their own and even feel emotion now.
Yeah, those are the NPCs.
Every time
Moving towers.
every time you hack a tower, you've killed its soul.
It
Or
it
placed
weeps
it
just a
in-
little. It weeps just a little bit.
Is that would be brilliant? If an enemy plane comes along, tries to land on an air tower, it just slaps him in the face, kicks him out. A friendly comes along, it just waves, says hi.
I was just zooming in on it a little bit here for you guys.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
wonder if
cool
we'll be
looking
able to draw on
design.
surfaces at all, because I know we used to be able to do it with boomers. I still remember one time stealing some mods and sticking them up in the generator room on one of those back places, and then using boomers to make a smiley face.
I'm interested in seeing the function of towers this time around. Before they were really staging points, like you grab the tower to then start attacking the base. But I don't know, they might be used in a similar way this time around. They might not be.
Yeah, tower functionality might be completely different. And that's what I'm excited to see about. Because it seemed like air towers were like the most useful ones, and then like gun towers were kind of useful, but not really. And then like the watch towers were kind of like, eh.
Maybe they'll be used for resources. We don't know.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I mean, it is most likely that towers are going to be a main object of the territory, because we've seen the map of India. We have only like 6 or 7 bases in there. That's not enough number of bases to have a territory control system on the map. I mean, we have 7. Imagine we only have 7 hexes and 3 factions fighting them constantly. That's not right.
So you're saying we should have a grid that's much smaller than the one we have in PS1?
Yeah.
Or just have the continents bigger.
Here's one thing I'm also curious about is like, if the hexes are big enough, will we be able to capture parts inside the hexes, like Like, say a tower's inside a hex. Could you capture a tower and not the whole hex?
Yeah,
I
that's
imagine the
what
hexes
I
are
was
actually
saying.
going to be really, really small, so we're actually going to have a pretty detailed fidelity of where the lines of combat are.
And what Higby, well, they said at some point is that apparently towers will be conditions to capturing a hex.
Yes, it could be.
Well, because the hex surrounding a tower is part of the tower. So if it captures the tower, you have the hex, as it is the command point for the hex.
Yeah, I mean,
What
controlling
makes sense, at least.
controlling a hex, you may be just, time on the hex as far as, sort of like Battlefield where you're in the vicinity of the flag long enough for it to switch. It could be a capture of a particular facility or a particular point. And any number of objectives, I suppose, could be conditions for controlling a hex square.
Yeah, because at least with adding some abilities to capture hexes that are otherwise mainly open space would be silly. They did say that some objectives could be or some hexes could be taken whilst inside vehicle. So there's that option as well.
Yeah, I think some hexes are going to be more of a presence kind of thing. Like, I don't know how to describe this exactly. It's like if a hex is controlled by the NC and the TR move in there and they fight, and then like the TR push the NC out, then like maybe after like a minute or 5 minutes, the hex would turn into TR because the TR moved in. They've been there for a whole time. Well, like if it's just an open field. Because I did say that.
And yeah, I think that's the reason why. There may be a matter of numbers too. I mean, if you've got if you've only got 10 NC and a hex, and all of a sudden you move in 100 TR, you may accelerate the rate that TR takes over that hex. So I don't think it'd be the case of you drive onto it in a lightning and sit there and take it over if it's
in like 2 seconds.
yeah, or at any rate. If there's a substantial force in there, you may not really have any effect on it. You're going to have to either put numbers or be there for a while.
Right. I remember in an interview, Higby said that like in PlanetSide 1, you had like the battles outside the base with like mostly vehicles and open field, and then you got to the courtyards and it was like full spectrum warfare, and you got inside the base and it was just infantry. And I believe shortly after that, he said that he wanted to have certain areas where it's like focused on aircraft battles or focused on tank battles, focused on vehicle battles in those areas. So I think some areas will have like facilities or towers to capture, and then some areas is pretty much going to be a battle of who has a stronger presence.
I think they're going to use a lot more of the map.
Well, that's it. Terrain's going to.
I mean, in PlanetSide 1, you could be in the middle of nowhere and nothing's going on. Like, it was just bases, towers, bridges,
right. I mean,
choke points.
Yeah, there were sometimes the only time you ever saw a PlanetSide map is if you were, on foot and running from one spot to another. You never otherwise set foot anywhere near that area of the map. And here you're going to be involving a lot more of it. And I think a lot of what will determine the type of fight, as I think they've said, is the terrain. You may have some place that's, too heavily forested or too rugged for vehicles, in which case you got to go on either, by foot or by aircraft. Or you may have places that, aircraft can't get to because might be caves or canyons and you just can't get aircraft
Which
in
is
there.
where I'm going to be, because I'm always the one that gets killed by the Mossy or the Reaver when I'm running through the field.
Right.
Reaver spam.
Yeah, even when I'm cloaked. Figure that one out.
So I think terrain will have a lot to do with the type of fighting. And
It's going to be interesting just to see the whole map used.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really excited for all the different kind of battles that I'm probably going to see in just a day of playing.
It's
I'll
not
be
ever
fighting
going to
in a
be the
base.
same.
Right.
Yeah,
battle.
like I'll be fighting in the base, I'll be fighting in the woods, I'll be fighting in the canyon.
Yeah,
I'll be fighting
and
everywhere.
Yeah, and you'll be having, infantry battles, you'll be having armor battles, you'll be having aircraft battles. It all depends
You
on...
won't get tired of the battles. Oh, I got to go to this base and take the. Well, why don't our squad go and cover resources in this area, or in another area where the dynamic will be different?
Well, that was one of the things that unfortunately made PlanetSide not so fun, is that after a while it did become monotonous. I mean, it was tremendously good times, and there were some incredible battles, but after a while it just kind of became the same old thing. And I think this is going to shake things up enough and make things varied enough so that you're going to get a unique and exciting and a different fight every time.
What base was it that took forever to take? Was it an amp station? The one that took forever.
Interlink?
Yeah. I was like, oh, not an interlink.
Yeah.
I think I'll just stay and watch. I'll come back. No. It's like took hours upon hours upon hours. It could take all day.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if both, there was two NC and TR fighting over it or something.
Right. And I've seen cases where, you've had a front line that, I've signed off at 9 o'clock in the morning, come back at 9 o'clock that night, and there's still the same fight going on in the same area.
And you're pushed further back, usually.
Yeah.
Well, one thing I'm really looking forward to is a battle on top of that mountain in Sisor. I really have to put that in there just so I can fight on that.
That would be pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, actually,
They
indeed.
somewhat true to the old continents. Not just in the biosphere, but also in the shape and where stuff is located. I mean, no reason to change it really. Dacta is awesome where it is.
Yeah, I just might want to add like maybe a few more hills in some areas, a few more forests. For the most part, I can see some of the PlanetSide 1 maps like transferring into PlanetSide 2 just as well, although they probably need to be scaled up a little with how much we've been seeing going on in Indar.
Yeah, I think they want to make them really varied. I don't think you're going to see any bland areas of the map. I mean, there are some dull areas in the PlanetSide 1 maps. There isn't much going on.
I don't think that they're going to be all desolate. They're just going to have different parts.
Yeah.
From what they're, from the screenshots we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot of open space in PlanetSide, right? And there was no reason to go there. It was just empty.
Right.
And so the territory system will make it so that you can actually, have a reason to go there. A reason to fight over just some random piece of land instead of just looking at it. Or randomly
Really
being
hope there
killed.
are monoliths in the game.
Yeah.
Or
yeah,
like
the monoliths, yeah.
dropping cloaked to go AFK under a tree, You think twice about it with the new changes.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's the reason that they're doing the territory system is so that you actually go
Right. They
go out there.
They got this
So-
beautiful engine, and they want to make sure that you experience all that engine has to offer.
What if I want to go for a picnic? Sit under a tree and watch the sunset.
Well, you can, but you might get shot in the face.
Yeah, you want to. Well, you want to make sure that you're well behind the line, I guess. If you want to go.
I'll be sitting there eating my sandwich, and Bastille come up and shoot me in the face.
No,
Bassie, what's
no.
wrong with you?
No,
You're
I
supposed to
wouldn't
take
do
the
that.
sandwich and then shoot her in the face.
What's probably going to happen is you're going to get team killed. That's what's really going
Yeah.
to happen. So
Yeah, I'm gonna show up and kill you.
Yeah, I want that sandwich.
Sandwich resources are valuable.
that's right. I mean, Higby has shown us that.
I make a damn good
You
sandwich
could have
too.
spent the resources for the sandwich on a tank. I mean, look what you've done.
All right. You guys have any other specific Twitter images that you're thinking about talking about, or you guys good with that?
Well, there's one, the biolab. I'm kind of curious about that. The shield over it. Has it been? Can it be taken out or?
You talking about the one from yesterday?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the shield dome on top of it.
Yeah.
I already imagine loads of lighter souls jumping on that thing.
And a galaxy drops.
Yeah.
Didn't they say that bases are now several sections, and you take one section and can disable the shield for the next section, and then just take that section and shield for the next section, go around and just take the base that way?
What
I'm
I'm
not sure it
hoping,
was ever mentioned, actually.
what
I
I'm
think
hoping
they
is
say
that
something like
the
that.
shield generators will be like a secondary objective in a way, like kind of like dropping in generators for a base or something. Like you drop generators to like disable a section of the shield somewhere or something, so that then let's say like if you drop troops on top of that dome with the shield up, like they'll just slide off of it or something. So you need to have like a team sneak in and drop it, and then after the shields go down, you just see a global chat going, all right, send a gal over that and drop troops on top of it. Like I could see some like cool, fun stuff happening around that.
Yeah, that may
will that
be.
shield stop enemy aircraft from entering?
That's what I was just going to say. It almost looks like that's an anti-air type defense that you're not going to be able to drop or shoot in. So it's going to have to be a ground war to get into the base and drop that shield in order for an air attack.
Yeah, but some screenshots actually have the very same base without the shield. Like the one on the PlanetSide 2 side.
You think it's a linked benefit?
Could be.
Could be indeed.
That would be interesting.
Probably amp station. I mean, it would have the same kind of functionality. It was vehicle shields. Just exchange it for base shields.
Or it might be related like the Force Dome in PlanetSide 1, where you need to hold certain sections in order for it to activate, and if those sections
like
aren't
with capital
held-
bases.
Yeah.
By the way, the
That-
whole thing about this base, if you take no, not a close look, if you take an overall look, you can see that there are no, which should I call it? There is no way to get topside, except from the outside. There are no linking constructions leading to the thing, only 4 legs of the thing.
Yeah, the thing I just zoomed in on is it looks like it's straight. It looks like it's straight out of a castle, whatever that is.
Well, if you look at it right there, that feels like a fantastic spot to stick a galaxy for spawning.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
That may be some sort of an entrance bunker or something to the facility.
Yeah.
Could be a landing
me of
pad.
a-
Somebody just said an IRC. I mean, who knows? It looks like it's out. It looks like it should be in a castle. That's why I zoomed in on it. It looked cool.
I see that like some of the bunkers that used to be in PlanetSide 1 with the ports to shoot out of, so who knows, that may be an entrance and
Yeah.
they have those as ports to defend.
Right.
At any rate, I do. If you remember the image from earlier, from the 9 video, where we had the objective display up, I think one of the other objectives had to do with a shield generator.
It was the top one, yeah.
Yeah, it did.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've seen these shields in lots of screenshots, so it looks like it's going to be. There are lots of images that Higby's tweeted. It looks like it's going to be something that's pretty common.
Yeah, we've seen them in the doorways, and we've seen them in a couple of different places. So
Yeah, we've seen it a lot. We've seen shield. It looks like shields are going to play a pretty big part in PlanetSide 2 as compared to 1 for sure. I've seen them all over the place. But yeah, I mean, it's just huge. The scale is just incredible. I mean, I'd like to see a guy standing out on one of these roofs just so we have an idea of what the scale is. Higby, for your next tweet, put a guy standing, somewhere out there and
There is a guy standing.
Off in the distance.
We just can't see him.
Yeah, there could be. I wouldn't be surprised. He's like a speck.
There's a little dot over there.
Yeah.
Well, you can already get kind of an idea of scale if you look at the building underneath the big arm. There's like cover there, so I think you should be able to shoot over that.
That
It's
would
massive.
make the entire thing quite massive.
Yeah, I mean it's just insanely big. I mean, like, the scale of the the galaxy pretty much gives away the scale that this time is going to be just so much bigger than it was the last time.
I mean,
Makes you
go ahead. Sorry.
It makes you wonder how big orbital strikes are going to be, because in PlanetSide 1 they were like about the size of a courtyard or a segment of a courtyard.
Small segment. Not even a quarter. Less than a quarter. Way less than a quarter.
Well,
Depends on the courtyard. It varies. Like the drop ship center's courtyard is massive compared to other ones.
If they
One
keep
thing
the
for
area
sure.
the same, it'll be really small. If it's going on the scale of what we're seeing,
Right.
it's going to be like a tiny spot if they keep it the same. But I don't know if they are. So
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a shot of, it should be up there for you guys in a moment, but a shot of the Liberator chilling out there. But yeah, I mean, the scale is just incredible. I mean, I can't wait to actually go in there and stand next to one of these things. Well, actually, it looks like he's outside of that same base. If you look in the background, it actually looks like the thing that I zoomed in on the biolab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does.
So,
Quick jump back to ion cans for a second. This kind of was brought up in the Twitch TV chat, but I'm wondering. The guy asked like, what would the OSs look like? And I'm wondering if the OSs are actually going to be unique for each individual side and have their own individual effects.
that would be pretty cool.
I would want to know what an OS looks like at night.
Ooh,
It's going to be pretty incredible, I think.
That'd be nuts.
Would blind you for a minute.
Hamas
Take away
put
your
in
night
for his
vision.
own specific OS.
Oh, yeah, right. I put in for it.
Think about Empire-specific OSs. TR would be like a massive load of bullets just from the sky. And C, what wouldn't C be? A big rocket?
A rock.
Yeah, right.
No, and
Just a rock.
One fucking
Giant
big
T-Rex.
They just drop an asteroid from space.
Vanu will just be like this. Think about Stargate Universe, the drones. Not Stargate Universe, Stargate Atlantis, the drones. The Lantian drones. Coming those things from the sky, just hitting everything that moves. Or doesn't move. Or just be there. Just kill everything.
The way I imagine is that if each empire has a unique orbital strike, it won't be like that different. Like the way I see it is more of like the style in which the orbital strike comes down. Like maybe Terran would have like 5 beams come down and then like meet in a center and then the big beam comes down or something. And like the VS would kind of have a more
Lightning.
sciencey feel to it.
Lightning bolt coming from the sky.
All right,
And
folks.
NC would just fire a cannon.
With that, orbital strikes. It's we're running about 2 hours now, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I think we had some awesome discussions here tonight.
Yeah.
Some new info to digest. Lots of good analysis of the screenshots that we've seen. I think we'll make that a regular feature. Talking about the various Twitter or the various tweet shots. Twitter shots,
Right.
shots, tweets,
It's a gaggle of Twitters.
a gaggle of
Yes.
Twitter shots, a gaggle of tweets. Oh, sorry, I'm rambling now. Anyway,
Various twats.
oh man, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. So, any closing thoughts from you guys? Anything you want to mention? Any shout outs? Any comments? Flames?
Flames.
Well, I want to say thank you to my mother, to my father.
Nice, awesome,
Yeah, for giving me birth.
and
I
awesome.
just want to say, if it weren't for my dad, I wouldn't be here tonight.
We're going with like the Oscar goodbyes
Right.
or the Grammys or something, where I'm gonna start playing music and then just cut you guys off.
I do have one thing to say, if you don't mind me
Yeah, absolutely.
plugging something in that I did.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I uploaded a YouTube video today explaining PlanetSide 1 to new people. If people want to check that out, it's called PlanetSide 1 Introduction. Comment on it, tell me how I did. It was my first YouTube video. And I'm planning on making another one to
Awesome.
promote PlanetSide 2 in the near future.
Cool. Did you post it in the forums? I hadn't seen it yet.
It's in the PlanetSide 1 section.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
I'll
we'll check it out.
Definitely.
I'll put a
Oh,
link
jinx.
in the IRC.
Okay, cool. Awesome. We'll check that out. All right, guys.
Along the same lines,
No, go ahead.
Wolf, Super Mordo, if you're familiar from the forums, has been working on a project called PlanetSide 24/7, and his goal is to get 24/7 coverage of stuff going on inside PS.
Yes.
Which is like live streaming and stuff. So
Yep.
he's made some work on that, and he's actually got some pretty good stuff. So we're looking forward to see how that turns out.
For sure.
Good spot to
Yeah, we wanted to
introduce
give
people to it.
We wanted to give him a shout out on that. Definitely has been looking good, and we hope he makes a great success of that. That's a wonderful project, and we're glad that we're actually in a day and age that we can actually do something like that.
Yeah, I mean, and it's looking good. I mean, it's definitely coming out good. I've been impressed with what I've seen so far, so that's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
If he's able to
On that
continue
topic, Morto interviewed me today.
I'm sorry?
Morto just did an interview with me today.
Ah, cool.
And apparently he's doing one with Perfect Storm.
Oh, awesome.
Great.
That's going to be cool. Very cool.
Yeah, Morto's been doing interviews with old people.
Surprise.
And he's actually even pestering Higby and T-Ray to do one.
That would be pretty cool. Definitely. I mean, he's really been doing a good job with that. I've been definitely been impressed, and definitely worthy of a shout out.
Yep, get over and check your site
I
out.
suggested to him to do the Higby T-Ray interview at the same time with them. Just have them two at the same time. That'd probably be brilliant.
That would be pretty cool.
Well, that's not much of an interview, it's just recording.
Yeah, exactly. It'll be mostly a recording of them. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna go ahead and call
shout
it.
out to Hama's mom, who's always watching.
Yeah, hi, Mom. My mom's always watching.
She always
Hey.
supports PlanetSide Universe.
Hey, Mom. How you
Hey.
doing? But
Hi, Hama's mom.
but thank you guys for joining us again, and hopefully, I'm sure you guys will probably be back next time, which will be in March.
Don't forget about the Twitter contest.
Mm-hmm. For sure. And let me go ahead and again, thanks guys for joining us, and great discussions tonight. And we'll probably see you again next time.
It was an absolute pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks, guys.
Always let me in here.
Thank you,
Take care,
everyone, for
guys.
listening.
As I face off my screen here because I've got about 20 computers surrounding me. But yeah, thanks guys. You can continue talking amongst yourselves. I'm going to mute you.
All right. Well, a great show. We appreciate Matt Higby taking the time out of his busy schedule to come visit us to join us here on AGN. And also, of course, our usual group of TeamSpeak contestants or participants, I meant to say. We're always happy to have them on and coming in. In closing up, don't forget about the Twitter contest. As we try to say, we want to be able to give away a couple of the PlanetSide T-shirts when we hit 1,000 followers. And also, as we mentioned earlier in the show, don't forget about the outfit spotlight. We want to be able to show you in your outfit off to the rest of the community. Get your requests in, and we'll try to get a chance to get your outfit spotlighted. Doesn't, as Hammer said earlier, it doesn't matter if you were existing PlanetSide outfit or planning to play PlanetSide 2. By all means, if you want to get the community interested in your outfit and be able to showcase yourself a little bit, give us a shout, and we'll see if we can get something put together for you.
Definitely. Sorry, guys, you were muted, and then the computer locked up, so I'm not really sure what was happening. So I yanked the audio cord, so you definitely are safe now.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the outfit spotlight. It's a new feature that we have coming along here, and I think it's going to be really cool. It gives folks an opportunity to highlight themselves, and you can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't. That's
Promoting the community,
That's what this is all about. Is you guys, the community. So
that's what PSU is for, and
And remember, when we do another one of these casts and a Hama posts on the forums, if you want to be part of the TeamSpeak panel, please make sure to contact Hama.
Yep, give us a shout.
We definitely want to get more people. Like, we love our normals, but we want to get more opinions.
Right. This is your show. If you want to come in
Absolutely.
and discuss and be on the show, no reason why you can't be. Just drop a PM to Hammer or myself.
Unless I don't like you. No.
Well, of course.
Right.
I mean, wait. But and so our next show is going to be coming up on March 10th at 7 p.m. Central. That is the week of GDC. It's actually the last day of GDC, I think. Or is it the day after the last?
The night.
Either way, it's right after GDC
Right.
or during it. I'm not sure which. But that is going to be the topic for the next AGN. We won't have any special guests because the special guests will be at GDC and we won't be. So,
But hopefully we got a lot of good
Yeah.
stuff that'll come out of GDC. We'll try to have it all wrapped up and
Absolutely.
ready to present to you then the next day. So we look forward to keeping an eye on that, and we'll have it all summarized for you and ready to present on our next AGN.
Indeed. And so, as always, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thanks for your support. Thank you, Higby, and the various and Arclegger I saw in IRC, and Radar X and Virago. Thank you guys for coming on, supporting the show, and taking part in the discussion during the show.
Right.
It's awesome of you guys to come out and take part. And until next time, which is again, March. This is the first time we've actually been prepared for the next show before we actually, because I usually just pick the date 3 or 4 weeks after we actually have the last show. But this time we're prepared because we know what's coming.
Right.
Or at least we hope that there's going to be something.
And I
good.
want to give one last shout out real quickly to a couple of people that have been doing a show of their own. For just recently, Kevin Rose and Alex Albright, original members of Tech TV, went off and did their own show and started doing a bit about Dignation, where they would promote a different story. And basically, two guys sat on the couch and drank beers and went 7 years. They did 346 shows, drank almost 3,000 beers, and just had a great time sitting there just talking back and forth about whatever happened to be in the spotlight for the community. They sat there and picked out shows, and they just did their final show on December 29th. So great run, Kevin and Alex. I enjoyed watching her all these years. I wish you would hung in there for one more year. Would have come up and seen you at South by Southwest, but you decided to call it quits. And hey, more power to you. You did a great run, and congratulations for 7 great years. Enjoyed
Indeed,
it.
that's awesome. Sounds like a future future show format where we sit around and drink beers and talk about
That's right.
PlanetSide too.
Yeah, we could call it PSU Nation, and we'll grab a forum story or something and talk about it.
Him good at drinking beer.
Yeah,
that's right.
That is my specialty.
Yeah,
I am awesome at that.
Yeah, that's all they did, And hey, they gained incredible notoriety. They were on Jimmy Fallon, and they went over and did a London show and Reno show, and the guys did real well for two guys sitting on a couch drinking beers.
Yeah, no kidding. Definitely. Maybe we can even get Radar down here and to sit on the couch with us.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be great.
He's not far from us.
He's not too far from here, so I'll kidnap him, bring him down here, force feed him beers. As if you have to do that for somebody.
All right. Till next time.
Yes, till next time, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. And the recording of this will be up probably, I'm not going to say tonight because it's probably not going to happen. Everything runs so slow when it comes to exporting and importing to YouTube. So probably tomorrow sometime. You can see the recording on YouTube, and we'll get it posted up, tweeted out, posted in the news, and all that good stuff. So until next month, for GDC, the special episode of AGN, this is Hammer, Marsman.
And this is the Araxis Global Network.
Have a good one, everyone. Bye-bye.
Good night.